Hey, everybody. Hey, everybody. Microphone. Okay. Hopefully that makes the audio a lot better and a more clear. Till I get a better microphone, donate on my Patreon page there.
I
If you guys
have
want
no
us to
idea
have
what he's
better
talking about.
equipment. Alright, so in tonight's episode of We Fucked Up, we're gonna fuck up. I'm gonna teach Tim how to run a steam engine. He might have ran them when he was a kid, but he hasn't. He hasn't done it at all.
I ain't that fucking old.
Well, let's get over to the game, shall we? All right. So, WASD moves. First thing we want to do is find a freight haul we can take. You know what? We can take this one. So, oh no, we can't. Do me a favor.
What?
Push the V key.
V.
Oh, that's hazmat. Throw that away. That's hazmat. Throw that. That's hazmat. Damn it! I need to buy the hazmat.
That's the floor. He just threw that on the floor.
Ah, we can take this one.
Okay.
All right, this is going to the steel mill, so we need to just deliver scrap metal. So we need to find the HBF 993. So let's head out. WASD walk. I need you to hit tab for me. All right, tab puts that away. All right, so we need, remember that, FH93. I think I know where it's going to be. If you hit F, we'll start teleporting. F key. Faster this way. You're going to tap the crap out of that key. Delete.
Still don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
We're getting there, don't worry. Tim's never played on a computer, by the way. So we can already...
I'm feeling that walking would be faster.
It's not. Now, if you combine them, if you walk and tap F, it is much faster. I'm sorry, we're on realistic mode, so you don't get to walk near as far. You don't teleport near as far. If I had to guess, this is our train we need. Okay. Hit the tab button. HBFH93. This is our train. So now we need to go this way. We're gonna want to walk because hit tab. Put this away. Okay. Now if you hit the number 2, it'll bring out our radio. Okay, sweet. Now we can change track switches. You're going to have to figure out how to do this. Luckily for you, most of the tracks should be already set for where we're going.
I don't know what the fuck.
Keep walking. Alright, so now we want to set our switches so we come into this. So that one is set incorrectly. That one's right. Right, that one's right. That one's right. We should be pretty much lined in. Now we just gotta get. Oh. Alright, so now we're gonna go grab our train. And I think. Yep, that's right. That's right.
Should I be hearing things?
You should hear some stuff.
I don't hear shit.
You don't hear any game noises?
Nope.
Like you're not hearing the switches switch? You're not hearing anything. Oh, it's because your headphones turned off. That's what that Badoop was. Did it make a noise yet? Did the battery die?
Probably.
Fucking are you shitting me?
Probably.
There we go. There you go. It's very important you can hear because when it comes to trains,
I heard that.
good. It's very important you can hear because when it comes to trains, make sure that's okay. All right, we gotta go over to the roundhouse. Maybe I shouldn't make you run the steam engine.
There's a boat just hang on the ground.
Yeah, there's lots of weird things in there. You know what? We'll see if you can run the steam. If you can't figure out the steam engine. Okay, wait a minute. Stop walking. Yeah, I don't have the... There it is. That's the train we need, right there. Whoop. Alright. You want to teleport into that thing. Walk up, hit F. Alright. So we're in here. So here comes the fun. I need you to hold the tab button. Alright, so we have a shovel. Select shovel, we'll go tab. Shovel, we need to get some coal in here. We gotta get this thing fired. Okay? We're gonna fill her right to the top because it's gonna take a second. Hold your tab button again. Lighter. Alright. Fire's lit. Alright. Alright, hit tab. So in order to act, you have to have your hands empty to interact with them. You can let go of tab. In order to interact with anything, you have to have your hands free. Okay. Trying to fill this because if you run this out of water, you will get what's called Cthulhu. This thing will explode. Okay. And it'll look like tentacles out the front. We call it Cthulhu. Gotta turn off the handbrake.
I don't know what that. Aside from the Edgar bro.
Oh shit, we gotta turn things on. Walk to the front of the train. So we have front. Stop. Stop. Back. Slower. We got a lubricator. We need to turn that on. Pretty sure it's already on. Okay. Go around. Keep going. Keep going. Alright. What? Did I just leave this stuff on? Okay. I ran this train. Alright, get back in the train. Find out in a second. Hit the C button.
C, right?
Yeah. Okay, hit control. Perfect. Nope, go back. We're not building up air, so none of that stuff is on. So we gotta go turn that all on. So, on this side, okay, you get your air compressor and your generator. The other side is the lubricator. Okay, good turn. You hear it chugging?
What the hell's that noise?
Oh, I think we turned on the Alright. That's what that noise is.
It
Go
died,
to the other
whatever it was. What?
Go to the other side of the train. We gotta turn on the loop.
Turn that on?
No, I fucked up. Turned everything on. Alright. Back in there. We're building up air pressure now.
I don't know. Take control so you can see.
Wow, I'm retarded. Just looking at them. Okay, so how this works. Explaining trains to you. This is our blower for getting the temperature in the engine going. So this is your pressure gauge. This is the pressure in the boiler. It can't go past 15. There's a safety valve. That'll pop. Okay? That's your fire temp. Okay? This is your bar. When you move this, you'll see that that bar changes. Okay? That doesn't matter. That's not doing nothing. These are your brakes. This is your independent. This is your train. Has what's called a set and lap system. So you can't just push this out and hope to stop. You have to push this out, select the bar, pull it back, and put it in lap. Okay? But not all the way back. All the way back is release. All the way forward is emergency dump. And it'll just dump all the air in the train. Okay, so
Don't know what the fuck we're doing here.
we got the cocks. We gotta open these because we haven't moved the train yet. And we should be able to roll out onto the we should be able to roll. It's gonna be interesting when I try to run this.
No, it's not. It's just going to smash into shit.
We need to get out on this. Oh, we're blowing our safety. Okay. Now we need to get out of here. We need to turn our turn tables.
How the fuck do I do that?
Walk forward. There's two ways to do it. Well, there's actually multiple. You can push this bar by literally running into it. That's how we're going to do it. You can also go into this building over there, and there's a little controller that you turn. Okay? Let's go get in our train. Gotta teleport. Alright. Choo-choo. Forward. Brakes off. That's a bit spicy for the yard. Whatever. Now you do have Q and E will lean your character left. Okay? Q and E will lean you left.
Slam into it at top speed.
Need my shovel. Oh, I need to stop. Hang on. No! No! Going back! I don't want to go back. God damn it. I'm used to doing things unconsciously that I completely forgot. We gotta change the track because we gotta switch the track real quick. Alright, now I need the shovel. Okay. Travel away. Thank you, sir. Start filling with water. Now we need to get out of here.
Spend very little time in the fucking train.
Well, yep. Hit one. Oh, you're about to spend a lot of time in the train. Okay, the other.
Hit one.
Hit two. Hit two. Sorry. Okay, switch. I don't know if we're fully lined in, but now we can go back. Back in the train. Put the whistle away. Put
Whistle.
tap. The whistle, not whistle. Put the thing away. Alright. Alright, let's go. Hit X. One of those buttons is supposed to put... There we go. Now we can actually... You want to walk backwards towards that window? Perfect. Give me two. Give me two. Hurry, give me two. Ah, son of a bitch. I missed. Put it away. But this is going to take us a minute, Tim, with the two of us doing this. I should have hooked the train up and just sent you on your way. Damn. Alright. I'm going to take over for a second, just so I can get us hooked to the train. Oh, not what I wanted. No, get in the train. Holy shit, why are we going so fast? So, see, I have to set the bar, set how much brake pressure you want, then you put it in what's called lap. I should start slow. So, it takes a lot of brain power not to wreck this train. But I'm gonna get you set up. We're gonna go in. I'm gonna go turn the job in, and then it's all on you.
I don't know.
That's the best part about this, and no one's watching, so there's no pressure. Oh. We didn't connect that hard. We're good. Okay. So, let's get this other part of this show going. So, let's talk about some jobs we've had. You got any in your mind, particularly? Is that full of water, or is that out of water? That's a very important question we have to ask ourselves. We will Cthulhu a train real fast. Alright. Oh, we got a handbrake on. Whoops. Like, why is this thing pulling so hard? That's not that one. There we go. Like, what the hell? This train should be pulling these cars really easy. It's not. Alright. Onward. I bet you now we get moving. Alright, this is about as fast as we want to go to the yard. But, I want to talk about our first jobs. What's the first job you ever had to do?
Stripper.
You were a stripper?
No.
You were. There's no way, because you would have been a kid. You used to live on a farm. Grandpa was a horse farmer.
Yeah.
Technically, your first job would have been farmer. I don't know how long he had the farm after you were.
It ran until my teenage. Now he didn't farm, say, he operated. He operated it kind of as a side hustle.
It was more of a hobby style.
Yeah.
Hit the. Now this is a very heavy train. But so as you were a youngster on the farm, how much did you guys normally like? How hard was it? Like what was your life like?
There were chores. But there really wasn't many. We mainly had horses.
Okay, so we're going to get that.
I got
Cool.
points.
But yeah, we got the 6 cars we need, so they're going to A61 in the steel mill, which is going to be right here. We're here. We need to travel all the way up there. Okay. So the 2 most important things you're going to need to know is number 1, because you got to keep coal in that thing. Number 2, how to put them away and turn this on. This is called the gun. So this is the injector. It injects water. If you do not put water in this, you're going to hear crinkling sounds. Crinkling sounds really bad.
What's this crinkling sound?
That won't happen till you're out of water. But we're ready to go. So this is your train's brake. So this is the independent. So this just puts the brakes on in this locomotive. This is the car brakes. This brakes the whole train. This is your Johnson bar, and this is your steam chest. This is the pressure out of your steam chest. So we're going to get rolling. Now we're all the way in. This is called the corner, but you don't want to run there. You want to find the most. You want to get the most out of the expansion. But it's going to be really tough to learn on the fly, okay? Especially because it's getting dark. So we're going to turn on the headlights. I'll get you out. But there's your mouse. And we'll tell you the directions to go. You should only need to change 2.
I don't know.
And train limit signs. So that's your steam chest bar. Do is put steam down here. This is what gives you your train power. And the more pressure you have here, Johnson bar has more control. So that's what. Essentially, you got to think of it this way: you're driving a manual with an on-the-fly gear, so you have to rev it up before you can shift it.
I don't know what I'm doing.
But the way speed limit signs work in this, they're going to tell you 4, 6, 8. That's going to be multiple of 10. You can go 50 miles an hour. Okay? But you're going to want to get some speed. You're not going to make that hill if you don't. You're going to put your hand on the keyboard.
Water.
Oh my gosh. Scroll wheel up. Now, adding water from the injector will cause the pressure to go down. But you want to turn this up.
Turn what up?
You want to turn your pressure gauge.
This?
Yep. Because you're going uphill. Alright, you're going to want to... You can leave the injector on. Hit 1, put some coal in your fire. Now you want to hit 2 and look forward, because you're going to need a change. Hit 2 and look.
Shit.
Oh, you're not going very fast.
Fuck. How do I do that?
Turn the bar in the middle. Crank that all the way up, and then move your Johnson bar all the way forward. Turn down your injector a little bit. You want to go about half because you're losing a bunch of pressure. Too much water too quickly. If you completely stop, we'll have to put the brakes on until you can let pressure build. Okay. Shouldn't completely stop. This train's nowhere near what the tonnage of this train's able to pull. Mind you, this is a 3-man job, by the way. There are 2 people whose jobs, one specifically the fire, one specifically the water, and then the engineer operates the rest of the train. In real life. But this game doesn't allow for multiplayer because they didn't design it. So you're going to be going really slow for a little. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Alright, see, we're going into a switch. I need you to switch to your yeah, switch to that and look at, go forward till you can see the switch. Walk forward. You're going to have to change the switch because you're going the wrong direction. I came in from the wrong direction. And your train's losing some speed. You can see the switch. See that little red thing? Up to your... The one on the right. There. There you go. Now you can put that away. Focus on your train, because the next one's not... So you pretty much are at the steel now. You need more fire. Move your Johnson bar all the way forward. Should have enough pressure to make that bar down at the bottom of the Now that's your shuttlecock. Yeah, that's all the way forward. No, it's not. You can scroll wheel on it. Oh. There you go. Oh, you're rolling backwards.
Uh-oh.
You might want to back up with S. There you go. Move your pressure gauge bar all the way. Can't remember what the hell that's called. Engage your independent to stop the train. Alright. Don't engage that one. It'll take forever. Alright, now release your independent. Your train should get you rolling forward. Come on, this train isn't close to the weight. Come on, you can do this. Go, train, go! So, my first job was working for them. You know how that went.
Oh, fuck, fuck, fuckity fuck.
Oh, you're spinning. Back up.
Back up.
Yeah, back yourself up. No, back. Yeah, back yourself up. Alright, flip this switch. Right, yep. Up, that, right there. Now, flip that. That'll give you sand. Turn it all the way on. That's why you're going backward. You don't have any wheel slipping. You can probably hear the wheels.
Oh, there we go.
Now you're moving. I couldn't hear the wheel slip. Get the headphones on.
I'm dead stop. What do I do?
Alright, turn off the sand. Shut down your steam chest. Go back down the hill backwards. We have to hit the hill with speed. But you got the lever changed, so the thing we were worried about is over. So just maintain your water and your fire, and don't engage the brake. Just let it go. You shouldn't get fast enough to be behind this thing. So you can just watch your fire and your water. But my first year Boy Scout camp, I don't remember if you remember my first year. But I'll tell you what, it was the worst.
Are you sure about not going fast enough?
I mean, this is a 50-mile-an-hour track, and you're not even doing 50 yet. Doing 35. You're about to be doing 40. The train maxes out at 60. Granted, that's under its own power. You're almost out of water.
Can't see that.
Oh, you about half. Alright. Now you might want to slow down and engage. he's just flying around the track. The best part is, though, you didn't break any speed limits in this yard. 50 mile an hour is the yard limit. Alright, now get the train to a complete stop and just punch it. Give her all she's got, Captain. Is it spinning? It's spinning. Don't worry, train. We'll get you nice new wheels when we get where we're going. But my first year of Boy Scout camp, I was 15, and I was teaching all the New Year scouts. So I had to do basic scouting. Fire making, first aid, safety, all that training, okay? There were 6 of us at the beginning of the summer. By the end of... Don't push that. That'll drop your fire. But by the end of the summer, now that you're speeding up,
Too much.
Too much beans. You're gonna have to get going pretty fast. But I was teaching all the Natamis. By the end of the year, I was the only. By the end of the summer, there's only five 5 weeks of camp. By the end of 5 weeks, I was the only person left in. We had been through so many meetings where kids had gotten fired. I was the only one left. Needless to say, I got yelled at a lot for things that had nothing to do. Okay? You are very low. Punch it.
Hey, I got it all the way open, don't I?
No, you had it all the way shut. Now punch it. Give her some sand. And give her some. You have the back. You got your injector weight. I'd leave it about half. There you go. And then fire. I'm pretty sure this train has the capability of pulling this weight. It's not that heavy. But the worst part also was me living in what was called the Taj. I lived in a set of tents, and the Taj was supposed to be all adults. Me and Nubbins, Jason,
Yeah.
were the only 2 kids in the Taj.
Okay.
We were in trouble all the time because the adults would smoke and drink and all kinds of stuff they weren't supposed to be doing up there. And because he had to be fair to all of us, he had to yell at us with them. And the adults told them that we had nothing to do with it. We weren't part of any of the shenanigans that they were doing. But we got yelled at anyway. You may not be able to pull this with this train.
Go, damn it. Going backwards again.
Yeah, this train just don't have enough. Darn. Alright. What, me?
What's that crinkling that sound?
Really?
No.
We're going to Cthulhu this train already? Alright, fine. We're not going to run the steam engine. Instead, I'll let you run 2 engines at once.
How about we just talk like, because this is gonna be. Doesn't help that you can't hear what's going on.
Oh, it's raining. You could have told me it was raining.
I didn't know it was raining.
You can't hear the rain? Oh, it's raining, that's why we can't get up this track. Those are some spicy sounds. Alright. No! No!
Dude,
I jumped off the train.
why did you?
Because I'm an idiot. But we're going to enjoy either a derail or a nice slow stop, and I'll quit the game either way. I know we can make that hill, but that's for a later video. Because Tim can't make that hill.
I was flying when I hit it too.
I'm gonna try it real. While we discuss this. So, go ahead, switch your seats.
Okay.
Take the chair over there. Alright, we're gonna give her a shot. Here's your, give me my food. Engineer Timmy here. Alright. The whistle's talking. We have burned through all of our coal. We have yet to make it anywhere. We have burned through all of our coal. Our gun is full. We don't need that. Dump it all. I put it in emergency. This must be a lot more weight than I. How much weight is it? 34,000. That's not 348 tons. This thing's supposed to be able to pull 500. Maybe not in the rain. Okay, I need to get my pressure up. That's a big problem. You were having enough pressure. Alright.
I'll take his word.
We're making up this stuff. But yeah, so that was my first actual job, and it was horrible. He yelled at me probably 4 times a week. It got so bad that one of the days he dressed me down in front of the entire camp. That his boss was present. His kid was there for that week. And his boss was pissed. Destroyed that man in front of the camp.
Take it he would.
No. No, he had no business talking to children like that. And me and Jeanette both. We were asked by the kitchen staff, because that's where my mother worked he was in the kitchen. We were asked by the kitchen staff if we could help them, because it was the biggest week of the year. Hey, I'm on the wrong game. But it's the biggest week of the year. This is
probably not Kristen.
It's probably James. But it was our biggest week of the year, and they were behind getting food ready. We're in there. We didn't know they were doing grace. You know. But we didn't know they were doing great. He got pissed because we were being loud and obnoxious. Because we were all in there having a good time, singing songs. And my mom got the cook fired. Because instead of speaking up and saying that we were requested, like she had requested our help, she just let us stand there and get screamed at. She was so afraid of him that she wouldn't speak up and tell him that we were asked to be in there. Okay? And it was absolutely the most demeaning thing I've ever had happen in my entire life. When a fucking 38-year-old woman lets 2 15-year-olds get screamed at. Because something she requested us help her with.
Have you made it farther than I did?
Not yet. Dean texted me back and told me I have to give them the card that was on the account, and we don't have any of the cards anymore. I kind of figured that was going to happen. I got a lot more pressure than you. I think I'm going to make it further than you. We got a lot more speed than you. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're making it further than I did.
I'm not sure I'm going to make it a whole lot further, to be honest.
You're moving.
Slowing down quite a bit. Some of them. This one's on a grade. But we are gaining speed. We're losing a lot of pressure, though. We're out of water.
Cthulhu.
That's a high possibility right now. Well, either way, I need more fire. We ran out of water in the actual train. So that train, the biggest downfall of that train is it does not hold a lot of water. You had burned through so much water in the 2 attempts that when the gun, even with, because I had the gun on, it should have been putting water in the entire time. We just didn't have any. Huh. We Cthulhu'd. Oh my god. Look at the train, it's still going. Why can't I like this? How do I put this down? I don't remember. I don't know. I've never used it. Oh, look at that. The game's realistic that way. What is going on here?
Boy, that's all fucked up.
Oh, everything.
I think Sam's gonna.
Ah, stop the noise. Ah. You know, I haven't Cthulhu'd one of these yet. But let me show you Cthulhu.
Whoops.
Well, that's gonna be an expensive re-rail. That one's not so much. That train's trying to... You know what? Well, at least when it gets to the harbor, they can't say I didn't try.
Well, that's true.
Um, Alright, so there's a valve on the... So this one didn't derail, we just had the one. These wheels are locked up, by the way. How much do one of these train cars weigh?
15,000.
42,000. Alright. Did we damage this one? Oh, yes we did. Oh, just the... We only hurt it a little bit. Given the fact that... Oh, we lost the... Where'd the train go? Because Lulu's back where he belongs. He's now a lake monster. Okay. Oh no. You were correct. I need you to roll into that one so I can walk you to. So eventually that handbrake is going to stop doing anything at all. Can't promise it was doing anything anyway. Okay, I need you to couple. Then you guys can go crazy down the hill with everything. Alright, now the fun begins. Are you ready? Oh, the other one stopped. That one brake managed to stop the whole train.
Still that hits.
Yeah, good point. So the rule is to set 60% of the cars, or 20%, no, 40% of the cars. So I need to set 4 handbrakes. Technically. But I think once these are coupled... Did I damage these? Oh, that did damage these. Talk about a hard couple. Alright. Now, the fun begins. Wait. What? No! Oh, you're supposed to be taking off. Supposed to leave this world. Gotta release the air out of all the train now. We got to go for a ride. We're gonna fuck it up. We might as well fuck it up all the way. Aha! Now we just sit back and ride our new train. The worst. What's the worst job you've ever had, Tim? Besides a train conductor, because you fucking suck. I'm not much of an engineer after I blew the train up, though. Took my license.
First job I had, my Uncle Andy got it for me. Working for a fella named Baker. I was 16 years old, just had my life. And he had me giving him a ride down to Hackney Pig Farm.
Oh, God.
Hand me my...
Alright.
Now, what I didn't know is, of course, my father informed me Baker wasn't a very nice gentleman
Up and up.
afterward.
Up and up, man.
Oh no, he was smart. He was true to his word. Little things like that. Thing is, over 2 days, I moved about 1.5 tons of pig shit. I was done. He handed me $50 and told me I was fired.
What the hell?
Showed him I was a hell of a worker. That didn't matter. Basically, he was...
Ah. So, in other words, he ended up failing in life because eventually you run out of people to throw away.
Yeah, toward the end, now don't get me wrong, it took him a few years, and I believe his pig farm. Yeah, I do.
The pig's shit finally took over because he ran out of people to help him.
And I think that was part of it.
Hey, you get your just desserts. Don't treat people like shit.
Second job I had was Louis and Cecil Hutt. He was a pretty good fellow. Louis was a bit of an ass.
My second job was McDonald's.
My job be much more in depth than...
Well, yeah. You also come from a lot different time. By the time I was working age and allowed to work, they had so many fucking regulations and all kinds of shit on child labor that was slightly different than when you were a child. I mean, they had child labor laws, obviously, when you were a kid, but they weren't as strict on them. So...
Yeah, it was... Well, you're supposed to work in it.
I have no idea how fast we're going. I also have no way of stopping the train. But I'm hearing spicy noises.
Ooh.
Lots of spicy derailing noises. Nothing like sending a 350 ton fucking weight down a mountain. Oh, this switch is gonna be bad.
Ugh.
Mind you, I have no way of stopping these cars. Oh, They stop themselves. I have magnetic seats. Every fucking car. Every car. Nope. I lied. This one didn't. You're my champion. So next time on my career save, we're gonna have to deal with this. But we're done for the day. But you work. So not only did you have chores on a horse farm, but you were working for a pig farm, huh?
Yeah. Of course, again, that was a different time. All I did was
My second job, I worked for McDonald's. I worked there for 3 months before I finally got another job installing satellite and driving all over the fucking state. My brother, by adoption, got me the job. And the hilarious part is I worked for this motherfucker for, pretty sure it was like 6 months. And in February, he didn't have work for me. He had to lay me off. And the truth was, him and my older brother got into a fight, and Frank quit. So I lost my job. He tried to feed me a bunch of shit, like he had to keep sending people back to fix my stuff. There was only one place that he ever had to send anyone back to, and he sent me back to it. And that was because the pole fell over, because I told the guy where he demanded the pole go that it wasn't going to sit and stay there. But he argued with me, and I put it in. And I told Mike at the time about it. I told him, I said, hey, you know, that pole isn't going to stay. Send him pictures. I said, it's in the fucking ditch. You know, it was in a low point in his yard, which, what's going to happen in a low point in the yard? All the fucking water is going to go there. So he didn't believe me. So 2 phone calls later, we finally get it on the fucking roof where I told him to put it in the first place. And he was worried it was going to leak. The problem is, when I do roofing, when I put a pole on a roof, I don't even worry about sealing it, because what I do is I pull the shingle up, I put it underneath the shingle, and then I cut the shingle around it. At least on a shingled roof, obviously. If you don't have a shingled roof, then I have to seal it a different way. But
you're fucked.
You know, when you put it up on a shingle, it's like when you put in a chimney or a fireplace. You take the shingles off, you put it in, and then you shingle around it. That way the water goes off the shingles. Never have to worry about it leaking that way. But he tried to use that as the excuse of why he was laying me on a bunch of other shit. But he just said, I just don't have any work for you, man. I said, that's funny, because the 3 guys I trained have 4 jobs lined up for each of them. And they're all working in the same area as me. So, and mind you, he was having all kinds of complaints about my work, but he had me train 4 people. What kind of fucking logic is that?
I don't know. Oh, sorry.
It's on a sit-stand desk. But
I found a button.
watching the whole TV move is kind of
Disconcerting?
yeah, it's a little paranoid. Makes me a little paranoid. But yeah, after that I worked for Firestone. You worked for, who were you working for when?
Transit.
Oh yeah, you had started at Transit, and Uncle Andy had started the business.
Yeah, I should have.
That's one of the many regrets of your life, huh?
Well, I just got health insurance. Had anything.
Dude, state jobs fucking suck. Unless you are a literal slave and you are drone in the first place, don't ever take a state job. Don't. They're not worth it. They offer all these nice benefits and, oh, we're going to give you so much money. They're not fucking worth it. I've worked 4 state jobs. Going anywhere from dispatching to like contract, like work. Road work, stuff like that. Doesn't matter. Do not work for a state or the local or federal governments. They will shit on you. You don't mean shit. It makes you feel like you have power, but you don't, because you're more of a public servant now. You have less rights. But
Put this on.
it's fine, babe. Put it back on the tree. But you know, they're just terrible. They offer all these nice things, but they're just terrible. But yeah, so I started at Firestone, and I was living with my girlfriend's parents over in Dayton at the time. And her dad was a very drunk individual. He was an alcoholic. I don't think he is now, but he was really bad when they were younger. So he had went through 3 walls. 3 different walls he had fallen through. I replaced the oven, I replaced garbage disposal, the microwave blew up, I replaced the water softener, I remodeled 2 bathrooms, and they threw me out. They threw me out of the house because my girlfriend's sister and her boyfriend slept in the room next to ours, and they had a TV on our wall and didn't care that, you know, how loud it was, and they didn't care if we could sleep or not. So I put my TV right against their TV, and I left mine turned down. But the stuff I watched and the music we listened to when we slept was a lot more bass than anything, so it shook the room. Did it on purpose. Well, you know, it wasn't a problem when they were doing it to us, and we brought that up. It wasn't a problem when they were doing it to us. But as soon as I returned with retaliation, I got thrown out of the house. They threw me out. And I had been living there for like 9 months. So by law, they couldn't just throw me out. They had to give me 60 days, I think. But I left because I wasn't going to deal with it. Mind you, her older sister and her husband, or boyfriend at the time, they weren't married, they didn't pay any bills. They didn't help with the house. They didn't do anything. They threw out the only person that helped pay bills and fix things. But that's how I lost my other job at Firestone, which I worked with her boyfriend. I worked with her sister's boyfriend. He was the one who got me the job. But he was what they call a B-Tech, which means he had been there for a year and he had a certification to be a mechanic. He had schooling behind him. I didn't have any of that stuff. The only certifications I ended up getting were the certifications that Firestone made me take, that I had to take to be a general tech. But I was just a GS. My only job was to do oil changes, tire changes, clean the shop. But I ended up having a bigger toolbox, and I worked with the Master Tech more than anyone else. Because the Master Tech liked me. Because I wasn't a fucking dumbass. I'll tell you what, some of those kids coming out of school, dumbest motherfuckers you'll ever meet. School does nothing but make you stupid. Your problem solving, gone. Your ability to think outside the box for a solution, gone.
Well, that's the main problem nowadays. It's critical.
Well, you're not allowed to. I mean, look at the curriculum. Kids nowadays they're doing worse in math. They're doing worse at reading. They don't know how to do cursive at all. Their understanding of biology and science is so far out the fucking window that most physicists and scientists of the past would be rolling in their graves. You're not taught anything. You're stupid. We're dumbed down. They want you to be
They teach you nowadays. They teach you to regurgitate facts and.
They don't even teach you to regurgitate facts. The biggest issue is what we know as facts have been proven wrong, and they're still teaching that. And the worst part about this is to be a teacher. It's not easy being a teacher. To be a teacher, you have to go back to school every year. So you're constantly in debt. Okay? You're not getting paid a lot. But you're not teaching properly either because the curriculum doesn't update. It takes 10 years before curriculum will update. And sometimes we can make so many advances in science and science is the biggest problem. But we can make so much advances in science that they don't change the curriculum soon enough.
Not so much science anymore as.
Well, yeah, technology.
Exactly.
No, but there's a lot of things we used to teach in science, just in general science, that isn't correct. They've discovered that it was wrong. So, it's just, and the curriculum hasn't caught up with that. But the biggest thing, I guess, is the biggest problem is this leftist, complete, insane malarkey. Because kids are coming out of college thinking that this is how the world should work and this is how the world works and demanding things to such a degree that they're committing suicide in ungodly rates. Or they're going out and getting themselves killed doing something stupid like standing in the middle of a fucking highway. They're messing with the wrong people. They're attacking people. It's just, we're not taught proper. I think it's more of we're not taught common sense. Yeah, but I'm talking more courtesy. Like, we're not taught to respect another person. We are taught that we are all just animals.
Actually, what they're being taught is they deserve respect, but
yeah,
that's
a big fucking problem. And it's crazy. But I lose my house after working with these fucking idiots. Mind you, most of them got fired. By the time I left, losing me was a big deal because we only had Master Tech, A Tech, Kyle, which was a B Tech, and me. There was only the four of us. Mind you, this shop was open from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. And we did most of the work for the Fairborn Air Force Base. Like, we did a lot of the work on their MP cars, on their personal vehicles, on their military trucks. Like, we did their alignments, their brake jobs. We did major repairs.
I believe the
Great Pat Air Force. Yep. Yeah, we did a lot of that work, so we were always swamped. And when I lost my house, I had to come back home, which was 3 hours away, so I couldn't keep working. And the saddest part is I just got my fucking coveralls. It took 2 months for me to get my size and everything in, and get them fitted for me and sent to the shop. I get them home, and the same day I get kicked out of the house because they weren't even man enough to tell me what was going on. Middle of the night, they walk in and tell me to get out of their house. And I just looked at him and said, whatever. Her dad starts screaming at me, and I started packing all my stuff up. I didn't give a fuck. Mind you, I was 18. I had just turned 18. Okay. So, and my girlfriend was 17, and she was about to turn 18 in a month. Like, we weren't that far out of being both of us 18. And the only reason we were sharing a room in the first place, because I slept on the couch for the first 6 months I lived there, was because they asked me to sleep in the room with her because they had family coming down for the holidays. And when the holidays were over and their family left, I asked them if they wanted me to go back to the couch. And the parents told me no. So it came out of nowhere. No one talked to me about it. No one cared. Right? And I just left. And I didn't even get to wear my fucking overalls yet. I was like, man, whatever. So I turned all that stuff in, told them that I had to leave, that I had to move back. Mom and Dad came and picked us up. I couldn't even get a hotel. I was 18 years old. You have to be 21 to rent any kind of room. So we slept in a car until my parents got there. But he tried to stop us as we were leaving. We had packed everything up, and we're leaving the house. And he got in front of the door, and I just picked this motherfucker. He's an inch taller than me, and he was big around. But I just picks him up, throw him down his hallway. He lands on his butt, just sits there, and I continue taking stuff out to the car. I was pissed. Fucking 2 a.m. I had to be at work at 6. So, I think, needless to say, I didn't go to work that day. We left at, I think it was 9 o'clock. We drove back home. And because she was 17 and had a month before she turned 18, take her back home, because we talked to Children's Services about it. We're like, well, she's only a month, and he threw us out of the house. Well, they're like, well, legally she has to go back, and if she doesn't, and they file it, she can be stuck under their guardianship till she's 21 as a runaway. I said, I have proof that they threw her out, so that won't happen. I'll take it to court that they threw her out of the house.
Well, that's what Children's Services do. They don't want it. As with most government agencies.
Well, our Children's Services was the ones who told us. Which our Children's Services couldn't do anything. It had to be their Children's Services there. And if they didn't report it up there, there's nothing that would have happened. Because they couldn't report it to our agency. And I guess we really shouldn't have worried about taking her back, because their agency was so busy. They had so many kids. There were 400 kids in actual abusive homes and in foster care and stuff that they didn't have time to take on, because her and her sister reported it as abuse, and they told them that they didn't have the ability or the manpower to even investigate it.
Yeah, they didn't want to do it.
Well, the thing is, we talked to a lawyer.
These are your government. They do whatever they can. They tell you, oh, we can't do it. Bullshit.
Well, here's the thing that kills me. It just kills me. Bella missed a month of school last year while she was in West. In kindergarten, mind you, the most unimportant year of school. First year of school. She missed an entire month. Every day was excused. Every day was excused. The truancy officer had the fucking audacity to show up at my house. But she refused to come while I was home. She would always call and see who was home before she would show up. And if they told him I was home, she'd gone. Because I worked with her. She was a child service on call while I worked at the sheriff's office. And she got tired of that job, so she changed jobs and became the truancy officer. She came here while I wasn't here because she knew who I was. I literally talked to her almost every night. So she knew who I was. She knew I wasn't going to deal with her shit and her lies. Because I know the law. I knew the law at that time, anyway. I'm not sure what laws have changed or anything. I haven't been keeping up with it. I doubt many. But, she comes, she scares the shit out of Miss. She threatens Mom and Dad. Scares the shit out of Miss. I go into the school pissed. I'm throwing a fucking fit. I said, you motherfuckers ever send a truancy officer to my goddamn house, I said, it'll be the last thing you do. I said, you better look at those fucking, excuses.
Keep in mind, also, this was during the COVID.
Yeah, this was all during COVID. And I was like, he said, you better look at those excuses. The secretary's like, oh, okay. And she pulls out the excuses, and she's like, I got 3 of them. I said, and look what they expand for. And the 3 excuses covered 3 weeks of school, which are the 3 weeks she missed. They covered the entire 3 weeks. I said, so every day is excused by a doctor. I said, and you sent a truancy officer to my house. And mind you, this truancy officer was so scared of me, she didn't come. She refused to come while I was home. I said, you ever do that? You ever scare my child or my family again? I said, it will be the last thing you do. You do not have the authority you seem to think you guys have. Because schools don't. They threaten you, and they'll scare you, and they'll be like, we're going to take your child away. They don't have that authority. The only way that that can happen is if Children's Services does it, and Children's Services is losing a lot of their authority, too. After the 300,000 kids they murdered in Texas to cover up their child sex trafficking act that they were part of.
That's not.
Oh, it's documented.
But there have been.
No, what I'm talking about was mainstream news. It happened. They found 300,000 dead kids that Children's Services had in foster care in Texas. They got arrested. A lot of people got arrested, and they are all Children's Service workers. They were sex traffickers that got positions as child care workers.
That's the case.
That's why Children's Services is losing so much power. They need to lose it all. There's no reason, because here's the problem. Children's Services was a great idea. Everything's great on paper. It is. Fantastic idea.
And it actually was when there were abuse cases.
But it's also in the same principle, in the same thing as a union. Unions, when they were brought up, when they were invented, they were needed. There was a huge need for them because so many places. But now unions are doing the exact same thing to the people that they were created to stop. Why Meepo refuses to get a union.
That's why we could have joined a union when we were transit. We really could have. Problem is Teamsters.
Yeah, it would have been the bus drivers union.
Yeah, it'd been the bus driver, but it was the Teamsters switched. And it just dear God, you'd paid 3/4 of your paycheck for fucking dues.
Yeah. They would have had to increase your pay.
I make, according to paper, $1,200 my public service.
According to my paperwork,
I
only
brought
made
home
$900
$700 after all the wonderful benefits I had.
When I worked at the sheriff's office, I was bringing home, my gross pay was almost $3,000. I was only bringing home $1,100 a week every 2 weeks.
Yeah, if you're paying out over half of your income, benefits, not that great benefits.
The thing is, I didn't even have anything. I had dental and medical. That was it. But I had to be part of a union. Mind you, that union wasn't going to protect me unless I had my job for over a year. I had to pay dues for over a year on a union that refused to take care of me. And it was required. Do not work government jobs. Because I'm going to be honest with you guys, a lot of people are getting tired of the government. They're getting tired of the overreach and the stupidity and the false promises that they use just to take more and more of your rights. That it's crazy. Big government was never meant to be in this country. And the reason our founding fathers set that up is with a big government, it's really easy for corrupt people to hide things. You know? That's the whole point. That's why we were never intended to be such a large government in the country. But they have everybody so convinced that a government will take care of them. Your government is not made to take care of you. There is no government in the world who will take care of you. The whole job of your government is to be a liaison for other countries and other governments, protect you and your rights from overstepping other countries, being invaded. The only thing the government's job to do is keep us out of the rest of the world. And our government has completely failed because it's gotten so large. Because these programs are great on paper. They are. They're a great idea. They can never be executed by the government.
And some of them start out. Some of them.
Well, the problem is nothing can be executed by the government. The reason those programs started out really well because they started out as non-profits. Most government programs were non-profits that the government took over.
And to reiterate that too, it's not so much. They're still listed as profit or just supposed to operate in the black. Problem is when you work in any governmental, come to find that do is everything they can get funding, and if they do certain things,
But they also don't
Which
spend
aren't-
that funding on that thing either. So we got to remember that too.
a lot of times,
That extra funding ends up getting used for expenses. But if you ever actually looked at a draft sheet for a government agency, I've seen a few, there's a lot of miscellaneous posted. It's crazy how much money they land. I'm just gonna say they loiter. They are loitering this money somewhere.
laundering.
Yeah, that's what it's called. Sorry, my bad. But yeah, they're laundering this money somewhere.
Well,
But even then, that's not the problem. The problem is forcing the taxpayer to take the bill.
well, what it is what happens is to finish my thought. What happens is they end up doing all these different things to basically increase their funding. Oh well, if we do this, we'll get more grants. This will get more money here. This will get more money here. When it's actually just covering other governmental services instead of actually helping the people like it's supposed to.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna take a very close example. So my niece lives with me. She has 3 kids, about to have a 4th one. Dad, barely active in their life. He gets them one weekend every 2 months. But he forgets about them for the rest of the time, and he expects his ex-wife to remind him about his children. She works 2 jobs while pregnant. She's due in January. Okay? She was getting food stamps, and when she didn't have any work because our house had burned down and a bunch of other things had happened, when she wasn't getting any work, she was getting $800 in food stamps. Great, right? Now, the moment she got a job paying minimum wage, they decreased her food stamps to $200 for 4 people, about to be 5. Now she has 2 jobs. She pretty much has no food stamps. Pays for everything almost in cash. She's never home with her kids. She's about to have a baby. It's the government does not care about you, and they never will. What they care about is your money.
Yeah.
As a single white male of no children, when I pay taxes, 90% of the time, I'm paying at least 48% of what I make.
I'm paying slightly. Yeah.
So now I do my own taxes because I'm an LLC and I own my own business, and it's completely different. And I have to pay 70% of my revenue. Our business made $50,000 last year. Our tax that we had to pay was $30,000. Mind you, the actual profit the company made was $18,000. The actual spendable profit that we made was $18,000, and we have to pay $30,000 to the government because on paper we made $50,000. So, and they're making LLCs way harder because the first of the year we have to sign new documentation and new tax laws and completely restructure our entire LLC, which, mind you, cost us $2,000 to do in the first place. It's going to cost us $3,000 to do it, to change it.
When the government has become
The problem is we all have to stand together. We are the largest army in the world. U.S. citizens make up 60% of the firearms in the world. You know?
Militant.
Militant. Who fucking cares? I don't make money on it.
Well, no, misunderstand. Now they call everything.
It doesn't matter. They can't do anything. We're protected by law, and I already have a lawyer that is willing to go to battle for. We are saying we are completely within our rights. Everything we're talking about. Because we're not calling anybody to arms. What we're saying is we need to stand together.
We all do stand together, and we.
Yep.
And until we understand, we have the right to do.
That's the biggest thing, is they want you to not know your rights. But on the whole, back to our careers and our jobs. As soon as I came back home, you know what my first job was as soon as I got back home? Amoeba. And I'll tell you what, that fucking place can suck a dick, eat shit and die. I don't fucking care. I worked there for 9 months. My first 9 days in that plant, I worked 9 12-hour shifts straight before they even put me on a schedule. Mind you, in the end, I ended up working 11 days straight because the schedule they put me on, I had to work that weekend. I was a gifted child. I had computer robotics knowledge. I had
Actually,
2 robotics degrees.
Actually, we called him special. But anyway.
I had 2 robotics degrees, a networking certificate. I didn't have degrees, I had certificates. I had like 2 robotics certificates. Mind you, this is a fully robotic factory. I had networking certificates. I was so over qualified for the job I was doing. And I was on the floor catching furnaces for 9 months. And I caught 3 furnaces by myself, while the 2 full-times caught 1 furnace each. I made $10 an hour. They made $15. I got no break ever because no one came to relieve me because I was doing too much work. No one would fucking do it. They would relieve each other. I had to do all the parts checks and go through and check all the oven temperatures and make sure everything was good because they were too fucking stupid to know how to do it. Mind you, I also ran the robot, the automated line, and it broke down on day shift every fucking day, and I'd have to come in and get the robot running so that I didn't have to stand there and try to catch 3 lines from the shot blast machine. And there was a lot of times I was the only person that could get that fucking robot going. They refused to give me a full-time position. I had to go and take a test 3 fucking times. I scored the highest on the test. I was scoring 98s on their fucking test. The highest they've ever had. I was even told by the woman at the Reeker building that I had the highest test scores out of anybody she's ever had in the Reeker building. 3 times I had to take it because they kept losing my results. They had a copy sent to them. I had a copy, my own copy, sent to me that I sent to them. That I gave to them. I handed to them. Like, they can't say it got lost. And then they kept telling me, oh, we don't know where it's at. Because they didn't want me to get a full-time position, because if I got a full-time position, I would have automatically gone into a engineering position. Because I was already trained and I could program the robot. I could read programs that were written on the robots. I was the only person in the plant on my shift. Probably I was the only person in the plant, period, at the time, that could read the fucking script and understand what it was saying, except for the one guy who programmed them all. He was the only other person that knew what the program was doing. And they wouldn't give me a full-time position.
This was supposed to be.
Well, I was hoping that the train would be, the fun part.
It became too.
No, it Cthulhu'd. We blew it up.
Well, yes,
But yeah, so. But I mean, that's the sad reality of life, though. That's the whole point of the podcast, to talk about shit. And I don't want to sugarcoat anything. That's not how our lives are. See, you're worried about people's opinion. I've been on the internet for so fucking long. I don't care about people's opinion.
it's not about people's opinion. It's about trying to get some semblance of hope to have.
Well, I mean, you can always do that.
Yes.
But we got to talk about, in order for hope to matter, you got to see the dark side of it anyway. You can't have hope when you don't see anything wrong with the world. And that's the biggest problem, is they try to hide what's wrong with the world. So people lose hope. You know how bad the suicide rate is? You can't have hope unless you understand that there is better options than to being treated like shit. So the whole point of bringing our old jobs up, and the reason I wanted to discuss this stuff, was because now we're doing much better. What is your new job? And how much do you love that job?
I work with developmentally disabled. Actually,
You do.
at least in there.
You make a difference in a lot of people's lives.
I'm ready to die.
They'll do anything to keep the man there. He does a very good job. He's probably the only one that can handle the male individuals when they get too aggressive and rowdy. And he handles all of them so much that they love him. They look at him like a dad. But he would have never done that if he would have continued to stay under the shitty, oppressive bullshit. Don't go to work for somebody who doesn't care about you, because there is a job out there where you will find people who do want you, they need you. You know, there's hope and it's worth it. Your job is not the end-all be-all. And I hate to tell people this, but start making your own businesses. Go out there and make your own business. Yes, you're going to fucking fail.
Well, the main problem right now with that is, well, you're paying out more than you're making in taxes. How the fuck is that legal?
Well, we haven't paid anything.
It shouldn't be.
We can't pay them, and we told them. We filed that we couldn't pay them. And by next year, we'll end up having to file a bankruptcy and start the LLC over again. But here's the thing. We don't lose our assets. And we'll keep doing it until we make it somewhere. I mean, that's how Trump made his millions. Everybody's like, oh, his daddy gave him money. No, his daddy didn't. He did in some cases. But he started so many businesses, and he failed at so many businesses, he finally got one that took off.
I believe the story is actually.
That
Don't
wasn't
get me
even
wrong, $1 million is a lot of money, but not in the aspect of New York real estate.
well. That wasn't even the first business. Trump had 12 businesses before his dad ever gave him any money. He had multiple businesses fail before the bank would even consider giving him a loan. And yes, his dad was the president of the bank, but he still had to go through his lenders, or whatever his dad's position in the bank was. I can't remember.
I think he might have been on.
He was high up. He was really high up in the bank. But he couldn't force the bank to give him that kind of money. He had to have... He could have... Yeah, he could have... he definitely had a heavy influence. But he couldn't just straight up go, well, the bank's going to give you $1 million. His daddy didn't just give him $1 million. That's not how banks work. Banks can't do that. That's why you have to have a credit. Or a cosigner. You have to have somebody. And it's the same deal.
Gotta go.
Oh, good. That's going to be fun.
Ellie and Kristen.
Kristen Richards. The one that used to work at Parmar?
Yeah. I mean,
That'll be a good time.
I love
No, 100%. 100%. The problem with Allie is I love her to death, but she goes overboard with the wine.
But what it is I can have a good time too.
You guys went wine tasting by yourself. She came back fucking trash. No, I don't want to hear it.
No. Usually, if it's she's a little tipsy, but
Oh, well.
she's not. Oh, we gotta have a fire. Oh, we gotta do.
Yeah, we should have a fire. Fucking cold outside. Like 40 degrees.
But yeah, I try to give hope. But don't.
It's not the end of the world.
If anybody does listen, the only thing.
Well, it has. I mean, we haven't said anything hateful.
No, it's
That's the thing is this isn't personal at all. Either it's our personal history, but history is history.
there are some things that are.
But the point is, it's history. You cannot change fucking history. The whole point of history, whether it's your personal history, your family history, your country's history, the world's history, it doesn't matter. The reason
point of
it's
history
there.
is to learn from.
Exactly. So yeah, we're talking about some shit that happened. Horrible things that are fucking awful. And, you go, it makes you upset, it aggravates you. But the point of it is so other people can learn from our experience. I learned a lot from your guys' experience. Yours, Frank and Violet, which are my adopted parents. I learned a lot from. I'm friends with a lot of older people. Most of my friend group are about 20 years older than I am. And I learned a lot about the world through their eyes and their mistakes. I have made far less mistakes than them, but the mistakes I make have far more consequences. Because I learned their problems. I learned from their mistakes, and that kind of made my mistakes worse. Because I knew the bad, and because I already knew an outcome, I went for a different route that had a worse outcome. But I learned from that. Like, our business is finally starting to pick up traction and make. Not great, still slow, but I'm not working for somebody anymore. I'm now capable of going out and helping, doing whatever I want, giving my 10% of God to the community. I may not be paying the church 10% of my income, but I never did that anyway. I don't believe in that. Most of my 10% that the Bible talks about giving, I give in late.
I don't believe.
No, the Bible. The thing is, the Bible says give 10% of yourself to God or for God every day. Give 10% of yourself to the world in God's name.
And of course, church leaders translated that.
Well, that's the easiest way for most people to give 10. My life is I'm going to give you the work. I'm going to work. I'm going to give you labor. I'm going to give you something that'll make you happy. It'll help you out and make your life easier. That's my 10%.
Your sister's.
She's about to have her own little one.
Oh, that's an official internet announcement. Pregnant.
Yeah, that's my second. And my sister-in-law is pregnant too, so my brother's about to have a baby. So the whole world's just having children, I swear to God.
Something in the water.
Something in the water. More like their pull-out game is weak.
Yeah. There is that too. Well, it's 9 o'clock.
Holy shit, it's 9 o'clock already.
Well, I didn't get down here till 6:30.
I didn't get home till 6:30. You messaged me at 6, so I think I told you I got home at 6:40. It was like 7 when you got here.
You must have went past me. Sitting there.
Oh, were you in the ball field?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I definitely went past. You didn't see my truck?
I didn't. I saw what looked like a truck, but I thought it was one of those 4-door deals.
I went through town at like 6:21 or 6:25 or something like that. I was in the bathroom when I texted you I was home. You know how long it takes me to poop?
3 days.
27 hours. But see, the thing is about these hard topics and these hard discussions, lots of good things come out of it, though. We are both in positions that we're more happy about. And honestly, if my YouTube stuff ever does take off, and I can play games more freely, and I can actually have, like, full-on conversations with a community, I'd be ecstatic about that. But if you guys want to donate and help us with the Eagles Peak Paranormal stuff, so we can go on more investigations and have better equipment, get better video, I do have a Patreon on the YouTube channel. All you have to do is donate to it. All the money in there goes to equipment, and whether it's computer equipment for our streams and stuff, or whether it goes to actual equipment we need for ghost hunting. And some of it will even goes to actually paying to rent places so we can investigate them. In some places you do have to rent. We don't really do that very often, though, because there's only one place that we rent, and we do it more as a charity thing for our county than anything. Because renting a place that's haunted to find out if it's haunted is about as stupid as renting a place for a scary haunted house. You know people have found evidence. Now, you might not have ever found it yourself, but you're likely to find something, and if you don't find something, you're just going to look like a fucking idiot because all these
Everybody
people
else
got
did.
all this up, and you're just like, man, now I can say that we didn't find anything here, so now you got to pay more money to rent it again to see if it's just a fluke. And then when you do discover that a place isn't haunted, but TV and a bunch of other paranormal groups said it was, now you look like the idiots for pointing out that they lied and they just used the fact that it had a history to make content that people ate up. Now, I'm not saying we've ever done that, but that is a fear that we have. That we're going to go to a place that's deemed haunted by the entire world and find out that there's nothing fucking there. And that it's all made up and, played up by other people just for views.
Alright, well.
Well, we shall see you guys in the next one. Thank you for joining our short little podcast of 2 hours. And thank you for Cthulhuing a train.
You're welcome. That's what I do.
Derailing an entire set of cars.
That's what I do. Hey, that was you.
You're right.
I wasn't in control of it then.
I Cthulhu'd the train too. But you were there for my journey. You were my wingman.
I was asleep in the bag.
You were the engineer that was supposed to stop me from doing all that stuff.
Don't do that! Boom. Oh, shit.
Well, shit. Alright. See you guys later. Thank you for joining us.